The latest Hytale blog post changes world generation forever. Let me start off by saying that Hytale is slowly becoming bigger than anything any of us expected. It's no longer just a little sandbox RPG game, it's now becoming a platform for modders, builders, and sandbox players alike. Up on screen is some footage posted by Simon on X in the recent days, and he's showing a dungeon crawling like mod developed by one of the Hytale devs in his free time. And this is just incredible to me because this looks nothing like the sandbox RPG that we were promised, and a dev simply developed this using Hytale's built-in modding in a few days, and that is just insane. I think this is also important as it shows the devs are dedicated to the game. They are truly passionate about it enough to go out of their way outside of work hours to develop a whole entire mod completely separate from the base game, just because they love it. Now let's hone in on the World Gen version 2 blog post. Hytale will launch with Exploration Mode on Volume 1 because it already has many biomes and content ready to go. Exploration Mode is what I assume to just be the plain vanilla experience. They are currently in the process of creating Orbis, which is the Hytale world, on version 2, and once completed, version 2 will become the primary world generator and you will enter the new world of Orbis. Version 1 will eventually stop generating chunks, but your old version 1 worlds will still be accessible. In the meantime, players will be able to see and experience version 2 content, but that is under construction by visiting fragments of Orbis through gateways and exploration mode. Then, once we are ready, we'll begin testing in a pre-release build for the world of Orbis. That may have just sounded like a lot of random words that doesn't really make sense, so let me try and explain it the simplest way possible. We are currently going to join the game on Early Access on January 13th in Hytale version 1 World Gen. However, there will be gateways akin to different dimensions which will demonstrate a lot of the World Gen version 2 builds. However, it won't be implemented into the base world generation. However, in a few months when they have finished World Gen version 2, all new worlds and chunks loaded will be in version 2. The blog post also began to show a lot of the new tools and editing features that will be added to Hytale, which allows us to have insane precision when creating a new biome or editing a new biome within the game. This allows a lot of creativity for developers, and it makes it a seamless process because it's integrated into the game and there's so much detail that goes into it, whether it's you want to create a massive skyscraper of a mountain, or you just want to make a simple laying plains biome. You can do it because we can allow the terrain shape to transition from one to another, blending features seamlessly. Biomes can also customize their terrain as it approaches the edge to customize biome transitions further. We were also shown a clip of a rocky mountain being edited, and it is shown us that creators can fully control which materials the terrain is made of by assembling material provider nodes, and we were also shown that we can edit things such as the block depth below ground or the amount of empty space above ground, allowing for an immense amount of detail and precision. Then finally we were shown what the use of props can do. Now, I don't know if I completely understood what they meant by this, but to me it sounds like we can make certain locations a POI, which is a point of interest, and we may be able to distribute how ores and vegetation are placed throughout the world. For example, if you wanted to, you could have a specific type of cave be heavily filled with iron or adamantium. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but that's what it sounds like to me. We were then shown some of the things that they're working on. For example, here we have a desert with some trees by the river and some camels, and then we have what looks like to be a Badlands kind of biome with a desert and a lush oasis in the middle of it. We then have a taiga biome with some rivers in between and some rocks on the side, and we also just have what looks like to be a plains biome with something flying in the sky, which I'm curious to see what that is. But these are just some of the drops that they're focusing on right now and should be coming out shortly after early access. And then finally, this is a little bit more speculative, but we have been shown the concept of the Outerverses. Now, some may see this as other dimensions, however, I think it could also be perceived as other worlds. For example, in a game like Ark Survival, there are different worlds. Rather than just being one plain vanilla world, you can go into many different environments, which aren't just limited to different biomes, they are whole new worlds. If you found anything I've said interesting in this video, consider subscribing. I'll be covering a lot more Hytale content closer to the release.